comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So I've just got back from the hospital. My daughter is sick. Not sure what the fuck's going on. She's had this foot thing, like a athlete's foot type thing going on, and she's been itching the fuck out of it. It's actually been a little bit of a nightmare. And tonight, I gave her a shower and it had spread everywhere all over her body. And I showed my wife, and my wife's like, let's go to the hospital. So we went to the hospital and there was a huge wait. So I had my son in the car. He was asleep. So we went home. Wife and daughter are still there. They're seeing the doctor. Apparently, they've got to go back in the morning to see the dermatologist. So that's all happening. I'm not sure I'm going to make it to work tomorrow. If that's the case, it's probably not going to hurt to have a little bit of a sleep in anyway. So today was fucking union day. And the 3 union reps were fucking front and center. Just going, you boys deserve a lot more fucking money than you are getting at the moment. You know that, right? I mean, you're the ones who are earning the money for these cunts to get their Ferraris. You know that, yeah? You're the workers. You're the ones earning, And they're just not passing it on. And we're here to represent you. We want you all on the big bucks. You know what I mean? And I believe in that to a certain extent. Well, I don't believe in it at all. Like, almost zero, I believe in that sort of economics. Like, 99% I don't believe in that. And 1% I do. And that 1% is when I'm involved. When I'm involved, I'm like, fuck free market. Fuck entrepreneurship. Fuck all of it. Give me my union money. I've been back in the workforce for 7 or 8 weeks. What more money do I deserve? And I've said this a million times. No one should be getting paid the same amount across the board, even in my company. Like the Lebanese guy who works with us and the Filipino dudes working themselves to death, those two shouldn't be on the same amount of money. They shouldn't even be in the same fucking job. One should be unemployed and the other should be on like $110 an hour. $110. But we're living in this fantasy world at the moment, this government-funded fantasy world where everyone should be on extraordinary money. All things considered, taking in inflation, cost of living, the asset inflation, like property prices in Sydney are fucking insane. Taking all that in, it's actually just probably keeping up with inflation. It's a normal wage, but like comparatively, like what the union gets for their union members is insanity. It's not so much like your hourly rate. It's once you start getting into the overtime and all that sort of shit and the benefits and all that, it gets pretty intense. So on the one hand, I don't really believe all these workers should be getting the exact same pay across the board, especially this high. But on the other hand, I'm one of these workers, so I'm willing to compromise my values and morals. Although here's where things get very tricky. It's a double-edged sword both ways. So you've got the union and they're fucking powerful. Like the Australian CFMEU is strong. They have ways and means. Like the 3 guys were the union delegates in this meeting today talking about the new EBA. It looked like 3 clones of just out of jail bikies recently released. So they have methods. They have ways to get companies on board, if you know what I mean. And that's pretty much what they were saying. They were like, if you know what I mean. Dodgy cunts. Anyway, here's the double-edged sword. So the union have power and they end up forcing these companies to sign the EBA to pay the workers a lot of money, but also the union dishes out the work to these companies and all that sort of shit. So to get this work, you sort of have to be part of the union, but the companies would prefer not to be paying their boys that much. So it does put strain on the wages market, and it probably, well, almost definitely causes labor inflation, which trickles on to the rest of the economy. But on the other hand, on the other double-edged sword, without union, what happens is, what happened in Melbourne was the unskilled labor and trades like plastering, like gyprocking, putting the plasterboard up, that got taken over by super cheap Chinese labor. So the dodgy bosses were sacking their boys who were demanding like a little bit more and replacing them with Chinese workers who would do 17 hours a day for like $19 an hour and undercut fucking everyone. So the union sort of balances that out. The dodgy on that side is balanced out by the dodgy on the union side. It's two extremes of dodgy, and there's just nothing for the middle. It's the same everywhere. There's no middle. It's just dominated by the extremes. Look, having said all this, if this EBA does go through and our hours don't change, and we're still able to do all this overtime we're doing, and we get all the allowances, then I'm in a pretty... let's just say I'm in a fortunate situation. To be perfectly honest with you, I am completely happy with what I'm earning at the moment. I don't have a single complaint. It's fine. It's good. It's the most I've ever earned already. But if they want to get involved with the union and pay me more for the exact same amount of work or less, then hey, I'm all for that. I'm all for it. God bless Australia and God bless the union. I won't believe we're getting any more money until I see my fucking first EBA paycheck. Until then, I won't believe it. Anyway, I don't think I'll be going to work tomorrow, so I'm going to have a nice sleep in. So I'm going to fucking leave you to it. That'll do for tonight, and I'll see ya the fuck later.